Hello all, my name is Sylvain and I'm here speaking from the Spokes of Hope Worldwide company. So I welcome you to this presentation, which is all about the management functions and as well as styles. So I would like to start with the management functions. It's right that every company has goals that it sets before it starts operating. So it has to go through different management functions in order to make sure that its goals are achieved. The first management function that I would like to talk about is planning. This planning function involves determining the actions or thinking of the actions that needs to be done in order for the company to achieve the goals that it has set. As it involves thinking of the actions, they also need to be organized in order so that they can be orderly worked on and as well as achieved in their order. So as this goes with setting the actions for the company, it also has to forecast the challenges, for instance, that it may encounter and try to be proactive by suggesting solutions that will be used in order to address those challenges. The second management function that I would like to talk about is organizing. Organizing itself involves trying to spot patterns of relationships between the employees, as well as making sure that the optimal use of available resources is available so that the company can be able to achieve the goals that it has set before. As an example of the task which involves in this, for example, when the manager sits and try to create the organization structure, how the people in the organization will be reporting to each other, how the supervision will be looking like, that action is done in the organizing phase, organizing function, which is very important for successfulness of the company. The third function that I would like to talk about is staffing. This goes with analyzing the job analysis, I mean the available jobs, and then try to recruit employees that better suit the required standards or the required skills in order to serve in those jobs, in those analyzed jobs. So an example of the task which involves in this, which is also very crucial for the development of different organizations, is training. Staffing involves giving training to people or to employees in order to boost their current skills. So talking more about the functions, there is the reading function, where the manager tries to identify the actions that needs to be done as well as the people to do them. He also needs to guide employees through what they should do. It requires having different leadership skills such as being competent, determination, all those skills are required for having the company well led. Another function is controlling. The controlling function is the function which mainly deals with the comparison between the current employee's performance and the preset standards of the performance. So when you are comparing how the employees are currently performing against the preset standards, that time you are controlling, you are executing this phase of controlling. So it also involves the good action of trying to correct the made errors in order for the company to run smoothly. So there are different management styles. So that should also be taken into account when the manager is trying to manage his company. The first is directing. This directing style involves like giving employees the directions and try to follow them. This means that you tell them what to do, when to do it, and how it should be done. So there is much involvement of the employees except getting what they should be doing done. So it has different advantages because it is easy. It favors the employees. It's easy to learn and it favors the culture. because when you are telling employees what to do, it is easy to control them and know how they are performing. And it is good for inexperienced workers, because if you are telling them what to do, in that case they get things clear and know exactly what they should be doing. Its weakness, if I can say, is that it leads to availability of limited ideas. Because if maybe the manager might be sitting with the employees and discuss them, he should in that case get different ideas from different employees, of course. And the other thing is that is leader dependence. If it's a leader dependence, here I want to mean that if the leader is not available to give directions of what to do, in that case the company can fail. It's leader centered. And the other thing is that it's bad for qualified workers. Sometimes qualified workers may not feel okay when you are telling them what to do every time. You see, yet they need the time to explore or use their skills effectively. The other management style that I would like to talk about is delegating. The delegating style relies on empowerment. The manager empowers employees and simply gives them the tasks to work on independently or either in small groups, and the employees set the ways for themselves to accomplish the given tasks. So the disadvantages, I mean the weaknesses of this delegating, is that it can lead like the business to risks. This is because the delegated task can't be done correctly as the owner of the company or the manager would wish it to be done. The other thing is that it creates burdens to employees. Sometimes the employees may not feel okay when the manager is giving them a lot of tasks to accomplish. As I would also like to talk about its strengths. This delegating style helps the manager to boost the employee's confidence, because when you are giving an employee a task to do, in that case he feels or she feels more confident and tries to accomplish it as effective as she can. And the other thing is that it involves decision-making skills. The decision-making in that case is centered to employees who are empowered, of course, through being given the task, and it helps them boost their decision-making skills. The other thing is that it prepares employees or workers to become good managers. The scenario through which this can be applied, for example, let's say you are a manager and then you have like 7 or 5 tasks that need to be done, and then they have close deadlines. In that case, for instance, 3 of them can be delegated to other employees and work on the 2 which are remaining in order to be able to meet all the deadlines. The third that I would like to talk about, of course, the management style is discussing. This discussing, it mainly involves interactions between employees and the manager. So through interacting, the manager tries to ask them questions which are about maybe a problem which is faced, the issue which needs to be solved, or an opportunity, and then the employees try to think about the questions critically and try to develop solutions together. So in this, the manager acts as the facilitator of the discussion. As its strengths, it favors collective decision making, which is good. And the other thing is that it develops multiple solutions to a problem. And the other strength is that it leads to the sharing of experience as well as the ideas through the discussions or interactions, of course. As its weaknesses, it's time consuming, because this can't be used while you are having a task which needs to be done so quickly. So it's time consuming. The other thing is that it's complex. I mean, it's a conflict potential. You know, whenever you are receiving different ideas from different people, it may happen that they don't agree on the same poet, and that case can lead to conflict or fighting among the employees. The other weakness is that it leads to diluted expertise. If an employee is able to work on a given task or able to think critically in order to make a decision about something, in that case, if he is working collectively with the others, you see, his expertise in that case will be somehow deleted. So the scenario through which this can be appropriate to use is that for example, when the company, a specific company, is facing the issue which needs to be solved but not immediately or urgently, in that case this style can be appropriate to use. This is because we get enough time to analyze different perspectives from different employees. You will get enough time to discuss with the workers and then get different ideas. So in case someone has time to solve a problem which is not urgent, this would be appropriate to be used. Finally, I would like to conclude that it's very important for each company to consider those 5 management functions, and managers think wisely when they are choosing the correct management style to use depending on a situation they are in. Thank you.